Deathless Champions are coming. Yes, they're coming. As Jon Snow once said, winter is coming, and also Deathless Champions are coming. And I thought to myself, hey, let's do a video all about that. So what we're hypothesizing as a community is that the Nameless Champions are in fact the Deathless based champions. That may be correct, but it may not be correct. It's fairly likely, but there is a chance it's not. But let's go with, yes, all the Nameless Champions are in fact Deathless Champions. Something to bear in mind is that the design is slightly different from the Nameless one. In that Kabam have added in more of a kind of a red trim into some of the armor. Now, as I said, that more than likely will be the case that, yes, the Nameless Champions are the Deathless Champions, which, you know, are coming or starting to come as of next month. But they made subtle little changes to them. Maybe they've made different kits. So let's wind it back and kind of go like, well, what are these champions all about? Where do they come from? These particular Deathless based champions, or Nameless, if again, as I said, if they are Nameless or not, there's nothing 100% to confirm that yes, they're Nameless. And, you know, this could be a very, very different type of champion. But maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, makes much more sense because the narrative of when these guys were put in, guys, I use them lightly, guys, one of them's a robot, one of them's a tree, and one of them's with Infinity Stones, which, you know, anyway, right. The Nameless are soulless servants of Thanos, while some of them battled the heroes of the battle realm in the dead and powerless copy of reality within the Dead Stone. Others matched unopposed, gathering the Infinity Stones, which had been strewn across the battle realm once again for their master. So, yeah, it's part of the Death Stone, which has its way in Marvel history with the following. That on Earth 517, which all of this is based, the Death Stone was a black-coloured Infinity Stone native to the battle realm. Thanos used Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight to trap most of the heroes deep within the mirror dimension inside the Death Stone in order to collect the other 5 Infinity Stones unopposed. Very clever he is, Mr. Thanos. So for those interested, the copies of the champions were Guillotine, as we know, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Hyperion, and of course, my boy King Groot. There was a really nice little event. I think it was Chaos Rifts what these were associated with. But they were very annoying bosses to go up against. And of course, we've seen Nameless Thanos come back multiple times. It's kind of like Kabam's go-to reusable boss for Eternity of Pain, Grandmaster Gauntlet, and I think we had him for the Summoner Showdown, as well as some of these from one of the previous Summoner Showdowns. So it's definitely a case that Nameless Thanos has been used many times. So they haven't been referred to as Deathless. However, though, I'm sure a lot of you will like the idea of them being called Deathless rather than being called Nameless. Nameless is just kind of a silly way to go, hey, you got a new champion? Yeah, I got one of them Nameless champions. I got a Nameless Hyperion. I got a Nameless King Groot. Well, not technically nameless. They've got a name. King Groot, Hyperion. They have names. So Deathless seems like it's tying in more to the Death Stone element to their creation or operation within getting some of those Infinity Stones. And of course makes more sense of there being 5. I'm sure a lot of you will say like, well, Rich, there's an Infinity Gauntlet right there. That's 6 gems you can see. Yes, that's a very good point. However, though, one of the stones is where they exist within. So if they exist in this dark one right here, then within that one there, where there's the alternate reality, then they've got to collect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total, if that's how it works. And just again, so I'm not going completely mad, rereading back, this entry here says that within the mirror dimension, inside the Death Stone, so inside the Death Stone, so inside maybe one of those, that one there maybe, in order to collect the other 5 Infinity Stones unopposed, which is indeed where we find Vision, we find King Groot, Guillotine we know as, and Scarlet Witch and Hyperion. So I guess in some ways that makes sense. Don't try and rationale why we have Nameless Collector. That is something for Abyss of Legends. And here's the thing. If I've got anything wrong in this video, I'm going to be like doing like this and like making you forget stuff. No, that's not what this is about. We need to link into the 5 champions that we're going to be receiving, which will take up to 2025 to get the last one. So it's going to be a case of first one this year. So what is that? That's, I think, once every half a year, I think that works out. So 2023, 2 years. Well, maybe it's a little bit more kind of like rapid than that one. But I want to say in 2024, we must get 2. No, we got 1 this year. 2, 3 next. No, yeah, 2 next year, and then the other 2 going into the latter point, and then finishing up early 2020. Maybe it's a case it's a different release schedule on that one. It kind of starts more 2023 December and ends in a certain way. Well, you're going to get some champions. That's I think the point to get to with this one. And what champions you're going to get? I personally think that we're only going to get the bog standard basics. What are the bog standard basics? Vision, King Groot, Hyperion, Guillotine, Scarlet Witch. I think we're going to get them. I really would hope that they have some new kind of abilities, but also it does put me into a bit of, well, a bit, not concerned, but it seems like we were going to get the new trophy champion. Do you remember back along I said that, I think it was Kabam John or somebody basically said, we're getting a new trophy champion. So I think that what we're getting is Nameless champions or Deathless champions as our new trophy champions. Will this be as part of the gifting event? Banquet event, sorry. The banquet event. It's not called a gifting event. The banquet event. Don't know if anything's going to go specifically into crystals, but it's very weird that a new trophy champion was announced. Obviously no details, but it turns out that then a month later, Deathless champions, or 2 months later, Deathless champions are the champions being referred to and talked about. I'm really looking forward to breaking out the Deathless King Groot, especially if we can get a combined class. So it's kind of not a class that you would normally be able to get advantage or disadvantage to. That'd be really cool. The Summon Symbiote is the one that's in game at the moment that's got that, and that's cool and all, but would it be great to have a 6-star or a 7-star version of a Deathless champion in your roster and be able to do new things? Because I would appreciate like a new kit to these, and I think there is being a new kit attached to them because they were being built by a member of Kabam, not from a design point because they're all technically built. They just have to add some of the things that Kabam said that will showcase what they're going to add, like this kind of more trim, more this kind of like glowing flame type trim added to the armoring, added to the build of the champion, how they look. So I'm sure Kabam are going to spice them up a little bit, but I want to see something unique, like unique abilities and things that are different, that makes it fun. Different. I'm going to use the word different a lot. Different. Yeah, especially if you're going to be working hard to achieve some of the pieces to get them, you've got to do a lot of hard work. And look, good luck to everybody going out to get pieces of these champions. But in case that's been a video, there's not much going on in the community at the moment, but I think I'm going to do some champion-based videos tomorrow, and then we'll have the new update go live tomorrow, so look out for that. We'll probably do a video looking at if there's any things that go well, bad, new additions, changes, and stuff like that. But in case that's been a video, what's your thoughts on the Deathless champions coming to game? Check out some other content on screen right now. I'll see you all soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.